This is how you get the kingdom of heaven. You just can't stand around and watch others do the work. We are calling all you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? It's work to be done, okay? This is not our rest. America has never been our rest, okay? Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Now skip to verse 28 and 15. Now these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. Okay, you got that, bro? You got that? Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if that what? It shall come to pass.
Future prophecy. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto,
if you don't listen, if you don't hearken, means listen.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
All his what?
All his commandments.
It's commandments that you sisters and brothers are responsible for. Because after you find out today that we are the people of the book, then you're going to realize that we are responsible for some instructions that our God gave us. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes.
No, the ones I pick and choose.
To do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Give me 68 real quick. They bus coming. So 68. All right. Now this curse in particular will prove that we are the people of the book, because this prophecy only happened to the so-called black, Latino, and Native Americans. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt the first time. We walked. Now he said we gonna go back again, but with what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage, captivity, or slavery. Now Moses told the Israelites, if you don't keep the Lord's commandments, you're gonna go back into slavery again. With what?
With ships.
Come here. Come here, sis. Sis in the red. Sister Loretta, right? Look at this. Who did this happen to? Who did this prophecy come to pass to? What people did that happen to? Didn't that happen to your great-great-grandfather?
Yeah.
You see that? With ships. Who went into slavery on slave ship? The so-called black people. Now the Latinos, it happened to too, because the so-called Spanish and the Portuguese came and got them from over this side of the world and brought them back to Spain and Portugal on ship. The Native Americans, that also happened to, because when the British and the English came here, they brought them back into England and Spain on what? Slave ship.
That's right, yeah.
So we're the only groups of people that happened to. It didn't happen to the white man, it didn't happen to the Arab, none of them, right? So what does that prove? We are the Israelites.
That's right.
We are the people of Moses. We are the people of Christ. Because Christ came out of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Okay, so that means we're somewhat related to Christ, the Messiah, the greatest man ever walked the earth. The greatest man with all power. You see that? See, now do you know why they want to kill you?
Yeah.
Why you think they rather want to give you 40 years, 50 years in jail rather than deal with you? Because you the best thing walking on this earth.
You already know.
You the best thing walking on this earth. You all right? So, now let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Now that we've proven that you're the Israelites, right? Right? You understand who went into slavery on slave ship? So-called African Americans. Right, because you're not a descendant of two different continents.
That's right.
Okay?
Right.
And you're not black. That's the color of my pants. Right? So we are the Israelites. We're the Jews. Okay? 48.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So God said, I'm going to put a curse on you to where you're going to have to go to your enemy to feed yourselves, to clothe yourselves, and to not be thirsty. Because you, in the last days, you won't have a food industry, you won't have a clothing industry, and you won't have any type of water industry for your people. Okay? Read that.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Who sent them?
The Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord sent these enemies against us. Read.
In hunger.
We don't own Kroger's. We don't own Save-A-Lot. We don't own Heinen's. We don't own none of those giant eagles.
That's
We
right.
have to go to our enemy to feed ourselves. Read.
And in thirst.
Dasani. What kind of water is that? Kirkland. You had to go to Kirkland to get that water. Do we own Kirkland? No. What happens if you don't pay that water bill? Who owns the water company? What nation of people owns the water? Exactly, sis. Read.
And in nakedness.
And then what heck it is? The tags on your clothes.
That's right.
Did we make these? Okay. Okay, you got Jay-Z, Puffy, whatever. In order to make them mass produce their clothes, they had to go to their what? Their enemy to get the stitches and linen.
They made this.
You understand me? So, understand, we're the only groups of people suffering from these curses. You hear that, black man? We're the only 3 cursed people on earth suffering through these curses.
That's right.
Okay, so with that being said, now that you know that you're the Israelites, now it's time to find out what's your responsibility here on earth.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel.
And now Israel, because now you now know that you're an Israelite.
Right.
What your dad's African American, right? He was classified as African American. Your dad was classified as African American. Your dad was classified as African American. So therefore, the African Americans were from the tribe of Judah historically. Okay, so that means you're from the tribe of Judah. Read. So now Israel, read.
And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What is he what?
What doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Now that you know you're an Israelite, God has a requirement for you. Okay, let's see if Pastor teach this Sunday. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
Pastor won't teach you to fear God, because to fear God is to keep the commandments.
Right.
Read.
To walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart,
With all your mind. That your heart, according to the Bible, is your mind. Read.
with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
So now it's time for you to learn commandments now. Okay? We grew up in the so-called Christian church for 20 years,
Get out.
30 years,
Get out.
40 years, 50 years, and not knowing not one commandment.
Right. Let it know.
Okay? Now I'm going to show you some commandments, and remember, this is love. Okay? I love my people. I want my people to improve. I'm tired of the conditions of my people.
That's
So
right.
therefore, I must bring correction and rebuke to my people, and it's up to you to whether you change it or not. I'm not going to make you change, but Lord's will, the Lord will. Okay? Deuteronomy 22 and
This is the
5.
book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So if you are in the act of cross-dressing, wearing pants, okay, stretch pants too. Remember, we in our, 30s? So 10 years ago, sisters weren't wearing stretch pants outwardly. It was used as an undergarment.
Right.
It was used as underwear to
Right.
keep your legs warm. Now our sisters wear it outwardly. But they wonder why brothers is going crazy, or they approaching them crazy. Okay, or they talking to them sideways. That's because you were showing off your body. Now give me 1 Timothy.
Bring it out.
Okay, this is what our God wanted us how to dress. Okay, hold on 1 second, brother. I got you. Read.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
See, that's the key right there. Modesty. Covered up. Cover yourself up from sexual attention.
Bring it out.
That's what modesty is. This is what the woman has gone away from. Okay, because America pushes, show your curves, show your body.
Right.
Okay, I'm a woman, hear me roar. Okay, but understand, God, the one that made you, did not from the beginning did not want that thing to happen.
Right.
Okay, modesty brings respect.
Right.
A brother will approach you differently. He will talk to you differently
Let it
if
know.
he see you covered up, because he'll be wondering like, man, what's her angle?
Right.
I can't just come to her sideways like I do the rest of these sisters in the neighborhood. I gotta come at her different, you know. And he'll be like, excuse me, sister. He'll humble himself. Read it from the entirety. Read.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness.
With what?
With shamefacedness.
You know what else we've learned here in America? that the black man ain't ish, so I can talk to him any type of way. I could come at him sideways. No, God, the Father, the Creator said for the woman to be shamefaced.
Right.
Now, it ain't just being shamefaced to any old Negro on the street. We ain't talking about Raheem the Thug. We talking about righteous men that keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, that are showing a good example. Those you be shamefaced to. Read.
With shamefacedness and sobriety.
Sober. Sisters today, all we know how to do is turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. And then we end up with a baby, and then when that brother don't want to take care of it, you wondering why.
Bring it out.
You put yourself in this situation.
Let it know.
Because you have not been taught correctly. But we're gonna help and heal our sisters today.
Let it know.
Okay? We're gonna help you and get you to where you build yourself up to where a righteous man will marry you.
Right.
Not just sleep with you and quit you and throw up the deuces. No, that's not how we operate.
Right.
We are men. Okay, read.
Not with broidered hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
Meaning material ain't her priority.
Right.
Okay, she ain't messing with you if you ain't got 26-inch rims or a gold chain around your neck or rings around you looking blinging out. Material. Those are about sisters that are material. She gotta have her hair, nails done. Priority before she do anything. Okay, that's materialistic sisters. Okay, our sisters need to get away from that. But that's what America pushes. If you ain't got that, right? If you ain't got that, I can't mess with you. Okay, all right. Now, I'm gonna show you something else. 1 Corinthians 11.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Is the what?
The head of the woman is the man.
Okay, so if you're not married, those that are your so-called spiritual teachers, your leaders, those are your heads. Then if you're a married woman, your husband is your head. Okay, we've been taught in America has put the black woman over the black man today. Okay, causing confusion here in America. But God said that what?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3.
Bring it
But
up.
I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So Christ even has a head. Christ has an order. She looked at me, sister, you believe in that? That the head of you is your husband there? All praises, read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of what?
And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Christ is God.
So Christ even gets his orders from the Father.
That's right.
The Father gives his orders to man. Man gives his orders to the woman. And the woman gives the orders to the children. That's called the chain of command. That's called hierarchy. That's called order. Okay, we have to get back to that. Now, let's get to the head covering. Read.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
5 and 6.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
So, the Christian church doesn't teach. Remember, well, back in the day, so in the so-called old Christian church, right? Remember the elder sisters used to come in with them big old hats, not knowing that it was a commandment for a woman to have her head covered in the church. We've gone away from that. That was a law that was established then. Okay, so from here on out, when you read the Bible or when you pray to the Father, cover your head. Put a scarf over your head from now
Let it
on.
know.
Okay, that was a law given to the woman. And men, when you pray, like now, brother, you should take your hat off. Let's read that for the men. Read. All praises.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So, if he kept his head covered, he would be dishonoring Christ.
Right.
If you didn't cover your head, you would be dishonoring the man. But the chain of command don't just stop there. If you're disrespecting the man, you're disrespecting Christ. Therefore, you're disrespecting the Father.
Right.
The disrespect just don't stop at him. Right. So if you love Christ, cover your head from now on. Okay?
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. Take care of us.
you, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.